Let me make sure the mic is on. Jesus, it's like my first rodeo here. So, let's get over to say hello to everybody. We'll jump in here. We'll jump in here. And then we'll jump in here. Voila. All right. Hopefully the laptop wants to keep up today. We are going to be turning a bunch of this little scrap wood into a little shipping box for the knives. It should be cool too because it's some exotic woods. So this is what I was thinking. I kind of have these pieces left over from previous builds. This is going to be the thinnest piece I have. So on the box itself, this will be the part that slides open and closed so that you can put the knife on the inside of this box. So the first step for me is going to be to get the dado grooves cut into all of these pieces, and after that we can go ahead and cut our 45s on the miter and glue this guy up. We're going to use a little bit of wood glue and some CA glue because we're just making this a quick shipping box. I'm not too concerned on, making this like a jewelry box. It's really just a ridiculously nice shipping box. So with that being said, we are going to go ahead and figure out where we want these dados to go, which side I want the top to be on. And I think I want the top to be this white portion. That will look a lot nicer against these darker woods here. And so we're gonna do that. We're gonna take this as our rough base size and get everything going there. So I think I want my actual first dado just to be underneath the surface here on this piece. So this piece is measuring just about, it's 5.1 centimeters, so 51 millimeters. But I think that if we have this first dado starting right around this, I guess it's going to be 8 mark, or 8 millimeters in from the top, that's going to be good for me. So we are going to make sure that we cut those onto the right side. I'm going to chop this down real quick just to get it flat, flush. That way when I go to run this through the table saw, I've got a good point of reference to work with. So really I want to mark it from this side. I guess it doesn't really matter, but this will make it easier when I bring it over to the bandsaw. We're really just going to go right underneath that guy. That's all we need to do. And then on the back side, we really just need to eyeball it. We'll run all the pieces together. That way they're all lined up. So on the table saw, we'll get you guys a little adjusted. That way you can see what's going on here. Actually, it might be cool to give you guys like a bottom view in. How's that? That might be a little bit better of a view. All right. So what we want to do here for these dados that we're going to be applying in is we are going to raise our blade. And on this guy, we just about halfway. No more than that is really needed. These guys are going to be glued in and everything like that. So just having it about halfway is going to be good. Then we're going to bring it, in this case, I'm bringing it right to the edge of the beech wood because I want my dados to start there and come down. So just line that up with one of your teeth. Don't worry, the saw is not plugged in yet. So boom, right there is where I want it. Going to lock that in. We're going to plug in the saw. And then we're going to run all of the pieces, all of these little scrap pieces and everything like that. Everything is going to get ran through at the same time. So I'm using this guy. For instance, this has some of the Padauk and the customer's knife is made with Padauk, Tatajuba, and tiger wood. So I think it's going to be a really good match for the box design. But I'm going to keep this portion for my top, and you'll actually grab onto this guy and you'll open the box from the Padauk, and that will be the only Padauk on this build. So hopefully this all works out exactly how I want it to. And yeah, that's about all I can say on that. I should, however, actually, before we start this, it's going to be better for me to take this guy to the exact same. Now that the power is on, I need to be cautious with this, you know. But that looks about the same width as this board all the way through. So I should cut these guys down first. That way we are working with the same dimensional lumber. So I'm going to grab just some extra wood that I have and kind of use that as a push stick on this guy. Thought I had one that had like a little notch in it. That would be perfect right now, just so that you have something really to grab it with. This guy's got a little notch in it. This will work. Yeah. So, I mean, I feel comfortable enough running this through just as is, with it being a smaller piece. And then this guy, we're going to want to make sure that we run it through this way. So this way, and then this way on this one. So that's what we're doing here. Let's go ahead and put some safety glasses on and cut that guy out. If you're not comfortable with this, then there are different ways that you could go about getting these guys cut, but I feel fine cutting these. They're small pieces, and yeah. Okay, so now my scrap pieces are the same size as our actual box piece. So everything here is the same size, and that's just what I wanted to do at first. Then we are going to go ahead and drop our blade. And like I said, we want it about halfway through this material. Just a little under that. It's going to be perfect for us. Okay, now we can go back to setting this guy where we want the dados to be. So, like I said, I'm going to start this one right underneath the beechwood. And the reason for that is because this guy is going to be our top and bottom of the base. Just some extra scrap wood, but it's a lot thinner than the rest of the material we're working with. About half the size, a little less, which is going to be good for the base and the top. So these two woods, this is a Perota wood and a Wenge, and those darker woods are going to look a lot nicer against this more white beech wood than I think that they would against this more yellow Tatajuba. So that's why I want to kind of make sure that this is the top and that is the bottom. So now at this point, we're just going to run our dados through here and do that first, and then we can come back over to the miter saw station, cut all our 45s, and make the box from there. Hey, how do you say your name? Tagnor Derit? Can I call you Tag? What's up, man? Or woman? Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, watch your ears. We're gonna run this first set of dados. Train nerds. All right, what's up, Train? How you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. I'm always glad to see some new faces. So I've got my first part of the dado cut. Now what we're gonna do is adjust our blade by adjusting our fence over just a little bit more, because what we want to do, we know that my blade is 2.2 millimeters. So if I run that through and get the same depth, we're going to be just about right for this guy, which is, yeah, just over 4 millimeters. So we are going to run this through one more time, changing nothing but the fence location. Let's do that. Okay, so like I said, this is our base and our top piece. So really what I want to do is just make sure that this dado groove fits into the piece. So as you can see, I still need just a little bit more. I'll show you guys a little closer up. So when I go to fit these guys together, it just ever so slightly, I mean, we're talking just a millimeter off, if that. So what we'll do is we are gonna, because I don't want to force this guy in, it's gonna be glued in at the end, and what we will do is just sneak up on this line, just a tiny bit. I mean, right there. Because we also do want to, for the top one that we're going to do, we want to leave it a little bit loose so that you don't have any sticking when you open and close your box. But for the bottom, where it's going to be, or well, this is the top actually, so we can go a little bit more just to make sure that this guy really slides nicely through the workpiece. Okay, so we just adjusted the saw over a little bit, and voila. That feels much nicer for this to be able to slide. And this piece is yet to be sanded, which means that once it's sanded ever so slightly more, it should really be able to slide nicely on this piece. So this is going to be our top piece. And that's going to be, we'll probably have to end up cutting it probably right around this area, something, once we decide our width and those kinds of things. Because we are just kind of winging it on this box. I am just making it a quick box. It's just for me to ship the knife. I'll show you that real quick. So this was a customer, well, a subscriber. If you guys haven't watched my lives, I make a lot of these knives on my live streams. And as you can see right here, these are all the names of some subscribers that are asking me to build different colored and designed knives. So for instance, this one is Mr. Meinhardt, and he wanted like a horizontal striping going through the knife handle, and he wanted to use Padauk, Tatajuba, and Tigerwood, and just correlating the striping and stuff like that. So every time he came onto the live, we'd work on his knife a little bit more. And now all I have left to do is polish the brass, things like that. And then this one will be good to be sent out to him next week. So right now, really what I'm doing is I'm going to cut another dado on the bottom side so that we have a bottom. And we're making a box so that I can put this knife inside of the box, and then he can just slide open the box from the top and bottom, but at least his knife will have a nice and cool display to it. So I think what I might do is build this box and then get this glued up and everything. It shouldn't take us too long to actually build this box, but we're going to build this box, and then I think I'm going to fill it with sawdust shavings, I should say, from my planer. I think that'll be a cool look. And then put this knife on top, and that way I can send this box to him, ship this box out, and I think that's going to be super, super cool. He's not expecting a box at all. He's just expecting, he emailed me, reached out to me and said, man, I love my knife that I designed with you so much. Can I please buy it? And I said, of course you can. And yeah, so he bought his knife that he designed. And now, because he's awesome, I am going to make a little box for him as a little secret and just an extra little thank you for purchasing a knife with me. So, all right, let's go ahead and cut the bottoms out on these guys. So that's top, that's top. Now for our bottoms, I definitely want to bring it a little bit closer because really all we need to make sure is that our knife fits into that box wherever our dado sits at. We don't want to have, not enough room at the end of our box. So I'm going to bring this guy pretty close to the bottom, and this is all going to get glued into place later. So I'm not worried about it being too close or something like that to the bottom. We just want to make sure, and we didn't change the setting on the blade or anything like that. We're just going to run this guy through and run all of these guys through as well. Do the same exact thing we just did. Once again, we're just going to adjust our fence over to take off the rest of this dado, and we'll do that one more time after this. Now, I always like to see if we've got a fit, I mean, we are sneaking up on that guy. For this bottom one, I'm going to make sure that we just take off a tiny bit more. I'll show you guys again up close. So you can see that my dado here is just a millimeter or two thicker than this side right now. But since this is the bottom, being tight is going to be good for us because we just are going to glue this piece in. But we don't ever want to force it. So you can see that we just need that one tiny I mean, it's right there. So if we just take off just a hair, we're going to have a really nice fit on this guy. And that will be our base piece then. So we're just going to take off just a hair of material here. Okay, and let's check that on the fittage. Once again, this piece still needs to be sanded down, but at this point we have that thinner dado, and look at that. Okay, we are in the money. So this guy's going to get glued onto this side right here, and this will become our top and bottom. So this portion right here is our bottom. So now at this point, what I like to do is we'll jump over to the miter saw. Things are going to get a little tricky with these smaller pieces since I'm trying to do this out of scrap, but it is what it is, people. So we're going to make do with what we got since we're just trying to build. Brave man pushing past the blade. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you do what you do, and I feel comfortable with that, especially since what I was just doing is the dado grooves, and we've got about half the material remaining. and I'm keeping my fingers out of the way. You can, I pulled out some sticks for the push sticks, but honestly, and like the ones that the table saw comes with is just garbage. It's not great. So if you have one of the nicer push sticks with like some of the foam pads on it that make it easier on pushing something through, gripping the material and things like that, by all means use it. But in this case, I just need to make sure my fingers are away. And yeah, it's definitely still dangerous. All of this kind of stuff is dangerous at times, you know. So, and there's ways to mitigate it. I understand, but yeah. Hello, everyone. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good touch too to kind of ship it old school style with some a wooden box and some shavings on the inside kind of thing to give it that old school kind of vibe and whatnot. So, all right. So first thing we got to do is we'll just take this guy for instance, since we know that this guy is going to be our sides and fronts and whatnot, and we can adjust our blade over to 45 because we are going to be running 45s on this entire build. So very simple. Turn on your dust collection, put your safety glasses on. That one's for you, back road runner, and go ahead and make that cut for yourselves. So dust collection, there you go. So that's the first cut on this guy. And like I said, this is just a free box that the customer is getting for me to ship this knife in. So I am not concerned about anything on this box, honestly. Yes, I want to make it look nice. Yes, I am going to put thought into it, and I feel like I already am. But if I, for instance, like I just had a little bit of chippage on this box right here, you know, just ever so slightly, a little chippage on there, I'm not concerned about that. This is not a $10,000 table I'm making right now to go to a client. He's just ordered his knife and he's getting a free box made from my scrap wood. So no matter what it turns out like, I guarantee you he's going to be happy with the results. So let's see if you can, yeah, you can see everything on the stream there. So what I'm going to want to do here is, one, we can either measure our knife the old-fashioned way there, and I see that we're sitting right about 17.5 centimeters. So no matter what, we're going to want to leave a little bit of extra room. I think we should just go 18.5, and that's going to be inside to inside in this case. So we'll bring this guy down. Look at that. It just sits right inside of the dado groove. That's awesome. So if we bring this to 18.5 here, that's going to be inside to inside, which means that our 45 for this side is going to want to go that way. Now, before I do this, let's make sure that I even have enough, because I might have to kind of get it closer to 18 or something like that, because this scrap piece might not be enough to do what I want to do here. So this is going to be the 45 here. We can mark that out real quickly. I'm always confused on, there we go, this way. Anyone else do that when trying to push a square around? Sometimes you just like constantly flip it until you finally find the angle. So there's going to be that 45 there, which if I'm lucky and do everything right here, means that I just flip it over the other way and I can cut my next 45 out of that piece right there. So that means that from right here, like this is going to be wasted material here in the middle, because I need two of these sides pretty much is what's going to happen, of the same side, left or right in this case. But I need to make sure that from this point, I've got 18.5. Oh boy, we're cutting it real close. I am sitting at 19. So let me bring this line down just to make sure. But we are cutting very close. I might just bring it down just to have that safety net. So from that line, we've got a total of, and that's if everything goes perfect and gets cut nicely. And we've got a total of 19.4. So if I bring this out to 18 and a half, whew, I'm bringing it down to 18. That's for sure. That's for sure. No questions about that. So for this one, this is our bottom, this is our top. So like I said, you just want to make sure, because the knife itself is measuring at there we go. We'll cut that one out. The knife itself is measuring at around 17 and a half, I think is what we said. Yeah. So if I have it at 18, we're going to fit it in there just right. And especially if you turn it a little bit, you'll be able to fit it in there just right. So we'll go ahead and cut that guy. Now, the way we can do this, instead of moving the saw back and forth left and right all of the time, we can just cut the opposite ends, and it will give us that angle that we need going inward. But you just need to make sure that then that's the side that you're marking. So in this case, I am going to be cutting from the bottom up. I'll mark my 18, and I'll bring that over to that side. And that's really all I need to know there. And then I'm going to put this right over here. And on these things, it's just important, especially when you don't have extra material to work with, just take your time. Because I feel like, and I should just double check everything actually, because if not, I'm going to be that guy who's talking about taking your time, double checking everything, and then I just F it up. So we want 18 on center. That should be right. It's measured out just in case. And we're measuring from, when you're taking this measurement, our box is going to be, we're going to glue our box together on this end grain here. And so our actual box dimension is going to start from this line. Exactly. Measured twice, cut once. If you're good enough, that's the rule of thumb. So we brought this out to 18, and I need my 45 to go the opposite direction of this one, because, well, that's how boxes are made, right? So everybody, send out your prayers to the woodworking gods that I don't F this up. Angles the right way. That's the side. Now I'm scared. Life goes on. Okay, so line this up. This guy does have, the laser on this guy is so hard to see. I will say that during the daytime, So if you guys can, I do recommend the, I prefer the shadow lines. They're much nicer. Okay, we've got one side of a box. This is going to be our bottom, and we can clean that just ever so slightly. In fact, we can just take Mr. Meinhardt's knife real quick and just get rid of those little wood shavings in there. We are going to give him a nice little sharpening before we send him out. So this is one side right here. Now, this is cut at the wrong angle at this point, so we're going to flip it over, and we are just going to line that up to the edge of that last 45, and we're going to cut that off. Dust collection, people. Don't forget the dust collection. Okay. Let's hope that this measure twice, cut once is going to work for us. If not, c'est la vie. Okay, so now what we can do is we can also make sure those ends are cleaned, and we can butt our pieces together. And what that's going to do, I mean, look at that, guys. I'm glad I went with 18. If I would have gone with 18 and a half, we would have not had enough space. So we have these two guys matched up with each other. That is how much extra I have right there. We're talking 2-3 millimeters on this build. So If I would have gone with 18.5, we would have very quickly lost these pieces. So glad we did that. Glad we did that. Take it easy. We'll see you later. We got lucky on that. So now we've got our 2 pieces there, and we'll line them up back to back. Just put them down on the table or something like that. You could also just do this by measuring. It's not the end of the world though to just kind of do it like this, and then draw our 45-degree angle direction, just so that you don't mess it up. That's the only reason why I'm doing that. Now this one I'm going to be very particular on. In fact, I might even leave just a little bit of room because I do not want to mess this piece up. Okay, now if we put them back to back, we should have the same size, and we are talking perfection here, which is very, very rare. But yeah, that lines up perfectly. That lines up perfectly. So that's going to be nice and easy for us when it comes time to assemble this box. We're just going to cut our 2 sides real quick, and then we can put some glue on them, some blue tape, some CA glue, just to make this a really quick process. Like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on this because I'm not getting paid for it, and it's just a way of saying thank you. So I don't want to spend 5 hours making this box for him when it's just a way to ship the knife anyways. So yeah, we are looking golden there. We should be having a nice fit together box here. The one part I am pretty bad at, so we're going to cut these guys next. Same thing. We're going to cut the 45, figure out what size distance we can do for the knife. So it just needs to be able to sit on the inside of this box as such. So whatever we're going to do here, it'll be something like this and like this. And whatever we do here, we just want to leave a little bit of room for that knife to fit in there. So thanks, man. Let's hope it turns out good. I think it should, because I think the color combo, and then at the end we're going to have to cut this guy before we glue it. We're going to have to cut it down the middle in half, because this piece is actually going to become our slide out portion of the box. So should work. I probably should have waited on that one, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Because I am going to have a gap, but once again, this is a free box. So I know it's hard for me though, because I'm very particular with my work and projects that I display for you guys and things like that through my videos. But for this box, I just need to let it go. So let's start by cutting the 45s in this guy. I know that I want this to be my top piece, which means that I'm going to cut the 45 starting that direction. So I'm going to flip this upside down. And we will bring that out. Perfect. Also a dangerous cut, but we'll be all right. For the next one, for the next cuts coming up though, I am going to have to figure out a way to clamp this down to the miter saw, because it is going to be getting very close to my finger and the rails and things like that. So, and I don't like the thought of that. So yeah, you can see that at this point, this is going to become the opening portion of the box. So this is going to be the only part where the box doesn't line up with itself, but that is also because these are the only scraps I have. So originally I wanted to use nothing but this wood. I didn't have enough to make this box for him. So here we are, and I thought, hey, it'd be cool to take this scrap, which has the Padauk in it, that matches his knife, and we'll just add it in as the front plate. And that's that. Okay, this one either way, if we cut the angle here, can go on both sides. So that's perfect. Same thing for this one. We're just going to be very cautious and try to save as much material as possible and get that cut. And once again, after this, we are going to have to use because that is getting very uncomfortably close to the blade. And I just, obviously, you're not supposed to do that. I don't like it. You know, I do feel comfortable at times with certain things, but this next cut, getting the 45 on the opposite side, that's a no bueno for me. If you want to do that, if you want to come over here and do it for me, by all means, do that. So this knife is measuring 4 centimeters wide. So we're just going to go with 4.5 from inside to inside, because I don't want this guy kind of just bouncing all over the place in there and stuff like that. And for me, it's just about 4.5, just getting a little box and a little extra something for the customer. So yeah, you can see for this one, I hate these kinds of cuts. So if I had a better option for this, we would definitely be going that route. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to adjust my fence. I'm going to figure out where this guy needs to go. So this guy needs to sit pretty much right here. Let's see. Yeah, it's so hard to not overthink things. I struggle with it all the time. Here's some extra scrap wood I have. I might just use this to pinch the guy, and I'll end up cutting through both of them. But that's totally fine because it's scrap wood. So let's see. Wish me luck. Worked perfectly. But boy, would that have scared me. You know, this was the other end, the loose end, while cutting it, and it fell down, got grabbed by the blade, and pulled up. It's exactly why I'm not comfortable getting too close to this blade with these little cuts, because that would have scared the shit out of me, and I probably would have flinched by myself if I didn't have this other block holding that in place, you know. So that looks awesome. I think that's going to be a pretty cool look too. Like, yes, I understand the it doesn't line up grain wise and things like that, because it's two different. It's still the same materials because it's Tatajuba, Tigerwood, and Padauk. It's just a different portion. This part is going to be the backside. I'm just going to draw that line on there, and we'll get it cut to the same size. In fact, I can go ahead and draw the line just on both sides, just in case, because if this goes on this side and this goes on, yep, see, exactly. So I need this reference right here, and that is the outside to outside, which means that I need to save that line, and then that guy can go right in there. And that should give us our little box. Cool. Double check, am I right? Am I right? Okay. So we're going to do the same thing here, and we might experience, I need to cut it from this side actually. So I want to double check that line, because I do need to cut it from the other side, and it's not really a crisp line. There we go. So now I mentally have a picture. I have a drawing per se on this guy. And now it's all about lining up this piece. God, small pieces. I'm just going to keep my finger off the trigger. Get that roughly lined up. That looks about as good as we're going to get it there. I'm going to put this guy down, pinch it in place. That's going to be my hold. And let's see. Voila. Perfect. About maybe a millimeter off on one little side. Nothing to worry about. Absolutely nothing to worry about. So, when it comes to gluing this box together, what we need to figure out next is actually a good way to measure that are on these side pieces. So on the side piece, we need to cut this base down to get our inner dimensions of the size of the bottom and the top. So we're going to need two pieces that measure, and we want to leave a little bit of space. You don't want to have to try and force this guy in there, but 5.5 is looking good for me on this inside piece. So 5.5, and then we'll measure same thing from the outside on this one to the outside on this one. And we're looking at, keep that right on the edge. It's sitting right at, we'll call it just under 19, 18.9 I think is going to be fine. That's going to get everything inside of the grooves. So what was that? 5.5 and 18.9. 5.5, yeah, that leaves us with 1 millimeter on each side. So 2 millimeters extra space. This one's measuring at 19.1. So if we're doing 18.9, we're leaving 1 millimeter on each side. So let's write that down. We have 5.5, 5.5, and 18.9. Believe that's what we told ourselves, right? Triple check. 5.5, good. 18.9, that one just checked, so we're good on that. 18.9, yeah. And we'll do a dry fit first as well. If we have to trim it down from there a little bit, we will. So now we're going to make the top and bottom. So none of this is sanded yet. I might just hit that real quickly with the orbital sander. That way I don't have to do it to the smaller pieces once I've got them cut. These guys, they're from another project. They're sanded. They're good to go. They're not getting any more special treatments. This guy is rough sawn from an old project that I did. I believe it was a, actually I think this was another box or a phone stand, and this was the leftover scrap. So let's hit that with the random orbit just a tiny bit first. Let's see what we've got on here. Fuck, we're gonna get some new. That's 120. It's probably gonna be better to start with an 80. Probably give us what we're looking for. It just needs a little rough sanding because well, it's rough. So there's that. I think I even have some. I was working on the knives yesterday, so I pulled out some 80, and I think I can just use that. Yeah, here's some 80. I don't care that it's covered in metal ferro. It's gonna go away right away. Okay. Okay, that's plugged in. As always, grab some dust collection. So for me, I just unplugged from the miter saw station and plug into that, and then we're good. Hey Robert, how's it going? give me 1 second on this sanding bullshit. Every project, it requires some sanding. If you're a woodworker, you understand. There's not a single project I don't think that I've done that I didn't sand. And if I'm not sanding your project for you, I don't give a shit about your project then. That's what that's saying. So let's just give this, and I'm not doing the greatest job of sanding. Normally I take my time, hold even pressure, you know, those kind of things. Right now I'm just trying to get rid of the saw marks. So it is what it is. I am making a box. Let me show you. One second, Robert. 1 second. All right, so that's good enough for now. If I feel like it needs some sanding later, I will hate myself for it later instead of now. So, like I said, Robert, what I am building right now is I make custom knives for my subscribers. So I don't know if you can see it that well. On the table right here is a bunch of my subscribers' names and different types of wood that they want to build knives out of. So this one belongs to a subscriber called Mineheart, and he chose this design on the knife. He wanted to go with Padauk wood, tiger wood, Tatajuba and tiger wood. So I made him this knife, and then he reached out to me through email, and he was like, "Hey Brandon, I really like that knife that I designed. Can I buy it from you?" And I said, "Well, of course you can." So he wants this knife, and right now, as a little surprise, I am building him a box that we are going to end up shipping this knife in. So right now we're just doing that. I need to cut the bottom and top of this box. So we have our dado grooves. This will be the bottom, this will be the top. And then this one with the slice of Padauk, we're going to end up cutting probably in the middle line area. That way this becomes the part where you can open the box from. So we're just building a little box to ship this out and trying to just do a quick job of this. I don't want to spend too much time on making this box for him because, well, I'm not getting paid for it. And the only time I get paid right now through YouTube, since I'm such a small creator, is with donations from my subscribers and things like that. And Mr. Mineheart, who ordered this knife, has been nothing but kind to me, shall I say. And so we're making him a special box to deliver that knife in. All right, I'm going to bring you guys back over into the table saw just for a second here. And we are going to do the tips and tricks on cutting this guy down. So first things first, I have a little bit of extra material on this board. This is just scrap pieces. We're building all of this box out of scrap. And I'm going to line this up. Look at that, it's already perfect. Yeah, perfect enough. We'll adjust just a tiny bit so we don't lose as much material. But there we go. We're going to cut this kind of stuff off real quick. And okay, there's that side. So we told ourselves that we need this box to be 5.5 wide. So we're going to adjust that to 5.5. It's set on my table saw at 5.5. I always like to come through, we'll lock this guy down real quick, and just make sure we are right on the money. We are right on the money. So let's go ahead And I want the darker woods in this build with a little slight touch of that white wood, which is, in this case, on this part, it's a cedar from my father-in-law. Okay, and there we have it. This is going to be our top and bottom. It looks sanded enough to me. I might take just the 120 real quick and hit these. Actually, I probably shouldn't even do that right now. I should do that on the actual individual piece, because I'm saying that and then I, for some reason, keep going. Sanding is just like second nature to me. I'm just like, always get rid of those rough edges. But this piece is going to be glued on the inside of here as a top and bottom. So we'll bring these into camera play for you guys. And we can jump back. Yeah, Robert, I really need to get, what's it called? One of those micro jigs. Because I have a push stick that I use for larger. They are so shitty, the ones that come with like table saws. Or I'll use some scrap wood, for instance, a lot of the times on pieces that I'm not comfortable with and things like that. But this thing just sucks. It's okay for larger pieces, but it's got zero grip and it's just awful. Honestly, it feels more dangerous than getting a good grip on it. But I have on my list of ordering that's coming up the mic. I think it's the micro jig push stick, the one that's adjustable, can go on top and really force it into the fence and out at the same time. And for like these smaller cuts, that's the exact thing that I want. So, but yeah, no, I right now I'm just yeah, I hate to say it, trying to be as careful as possible. That's like a dumb thing to say, you know, because it's no matter how careful you are, it's an accident that occurs and causes damage, you know. So it doesn't matter how careful you are. Something spontaneous can happen and it can catch something. Yeah. Anywho, so we got these. Yeah. Are you talking about the one that comes with the table saw? Because if so, they absolutely just shatter when they come with the when they come into any contact with a blade, you know. The micro jigs I think would do the same, honestly, because it is plastic. But I guess that's better than your fingers shattering into pieces. Okay, so we need two of these pieces at 18.9, and we can even go a little on the shy side of that, and it's going to be just fine. But that's kind of where we want these guys distance-wise. So we're going to put that right there. Dust collection. So there's that one. $18.9. Yeah, if they have rubber bottoms, that would be much better for sure. Okay, so we're left with a little scrap. If one of you guys wants this, I'll send it your way. Just kidding. That is not worth shipping to anywhere or anyone. So now we are just going to dry fit everything, make sure that we're looking okay on the fit. This one would go like this. So we are going to dry fit, people. It's number one way of just ensuring that you're okay. So I probably could have gone a little bit longer on the, or no, Nope, nope. The bottom was just pushed out. That's why. Okay. So we got our 45s there. I mean, I could have gone a little bit longer, but once again, it's not going to matter. Yeah, because that comes in. That's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So this is going to be our box per se. And then this is going to be on the top piece. So now what I'm wanting to do is, I think what I'll do is I'll cut right on the line of the Padauk and the Tatajuba. Let's see. I might go a little bit down further. We might do like a middle kind of thing or something like that. Maybe just a tiny bit. Reason for that is my dado is kind of close. I don't think it would matter actually. It's not going to matter. We're going to cut on the line of the Padauk, and then that's going to become our piece. So once again, watch your. Don't look at the screen at what I'm doing. No, I'm going to use a push stick on this one for sure. So it's a very small piece. I'm actually going to use a combination of 2 push sticks in a sense. That way I can just make sure that everything stays nice and even. That'll do. Well, let me, might as well point the camera at it so that if you guys see this thing go horribly wrong and you see me fall down to the ground, someone can call 911 for me or something. We'll see how this works. I don't want to put pressure on this side because that's the piece I need, so I cannot risk it biting on the wood. Okay, so I just have a little piece. Perfect-ish. We're going to sand this down anyways because this is going to be grabbed by the person. This part turned out great. So there's going to be a slight gap in between this guy on the box. And I might even do just like a little finger hold area there so that, but once again, I think I'm getting carried away because this is a free box, you know. And it's just a thank you and a shipping it out box. That's really all it is. So this bottom, oops, I need to get the blue tape out and get this guy glued up, CA glued, wood glued, and we'll be good. So that guy's going to go there. Looks like the knife should fit. I hope to God. We measured twice, didn't we? It'll fit. It'll fit. Would have been nice to be a little thicker, but the whole point of this box is just to ship it, you know. So he's going to have a little bit of a, he's going to have to kind of dump it out. So I might not do shavings. We'll see to get the knife out. I might put a rubber pad or something like that at the bottom. Yeah. I wasn't holding my breath, but I was pinching my ass cheeks together. That's for sure, because it was like it worked. It worked. No one got hurt, and we're alive. So, all right. So, and then this guy is going to become the top piece, and it's important to make sure we have this going the right way. And I'm just going to end up gluing that onto, is that the top or is that the, okay, no, the thick side is the top. Good. That's kind of what I wanted anyways. And then once this is all together, we should be able to just slide this portion of the box in and slide it out. So that's going to be the gist of this box, and we've already spent enough time on it. So what I really want to get onto for today is this is another knife that I'm working on right now, and I'm trying to get a mirror finish on the entire blade because this thing's just a monster. So I sanded it down yesterday to 5,000 grit on the knife blade, but at this point I need to come through and maybe do one more sanding at that high grit on this top area, but then we're going to have to come through with the polishing wheel, and hopefully that just takes care of everything else and really makes this thing shine. And then we can go on to building the handle for it, attaching the handles, everything like that. So this monster is really what I want to get to work on today. And then at some point, I also need to put together my daughter's trampoline. So that can wait. That can wait. We've got money to be made here. Got business to do. All right, so let's get some glue. And we are at that point now. I'm going to do the little tape trick, little blue tape. We're going to grab this, and we are also going to use some CA glue. So for this next step, I need a little bit of wood glue, some CA glue, and blue tape just makes everything so nice and easy when you're doing these glue ups. So you put the blue tape upside down. Hardest part of that is getting it off your fingers. And let's see how long I need it. Oh! A good way to do this as well is just to take a piece, for instance. This is where we can start. Let's do it in the middle actually. That way both sides I can sand and clean up and things like that. So put your blue tape down, and then we're just going to follow that line of what we just did. Put your blue tape, put it down, nice and easy. Bada bing, bada boom. Then we go on to the third piece, which is this one. Bada bing, bada boom. Clean up that edge just a tiny bit. Okay. Scoot this down just a hair. And then this guy is our last piece. Why? What's going on here? I'm so confused. How did I fuck that up? Oh, that's why. Duh. This piece was different. It had the Padauk in it. I was like, why is there the Tatajuba and the Tiger Wood not lining up? Like, where the hell did I go wrong? This whole front piece is different, so I can't rely on the colors of the wood themselves. So those are my 4 pieces for the box. The top becomes the handle. That's going to end up getting glued onto that, and that's it. That's what this piece is going to consist of. So, yeah, pretty cool. We'll glue that on there, and that's that piece. I don't know what to tell you guys other than that. So I'm going to put a little bit of wood glue in between this guy. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it, especially because it's just me. And I've put together a trampoline like, oh, I don't even know how many years ago it was that I put together a trampoline, like years and years and years. But I remember that putting on like this, that one, there's a lot of pieces like you're saying. So, and there's no instructions because we just got it from one of the neighbors and they threw it inside of a like big box. So everything's just in the big box and I just need to figure it out kind of thing. But getting those springs on, I know for a fact I'm just going to have the worst time ever getting those springs on. Okay, so that's going to have to do on wood glue. Now I know with end grain, you definitely want to make sure that you have, like, usually what you would do with end grain is, you know, rub it in, give it 10 minutes or so, and then you would come back and apply more glue because end grain soaks up glue like crazy. But actually, what I should do as well during this process is, this is the bottom. So we are going to just attach just a little bit of wood glue for our piece that goes into the actual bottom itself. But I don't want to go too crazy on this one glue wise, because it's going to be a lot of cleanup if that's the case. So we don't want squeeze out everywhere on this kind of a build. Just wipe that extra off. So we can go ahead and put this guy down in here. And then I do want some CA glue. It's just going to make this whole process so much quicker for me. Oh shoot, no CA glue on that. Okay, so just there, that'll be fine. And rip this guy off. It's got a nice 45. I'm just going to lock that in. Perfect. And yep, you can see some squeeze out. We're just going to have to get a wet rag and clean all of this guy up as best as we can. Oh, that's way too much CA glue. We're making a mess on time. I should put a little dab here. Running out of time. Running out of time. Okay. CA glue is a wonderful thing for those of you who aren't familiar with it. It makes a glue up go from a couple hours to a couple seconds. I'm going to get this wet using my daughter's spray bottle. This is what I use to water pop my cutting boards. So I have a bunch of those videos on my page itself. If you are interested in those kinds of woodworking builds, by all means, feel free to check it out. Got some cool projects going on there. Some older projects as well, with where I built a chicken coop with the pallet wood, and it's the world's most unique chicken coop. Everybody who comes over here and looks at my chicken coop is like, I've never seen a chicken coop like that. That's a little house. And it's like, yeah, it sure is. It sure is, buddy. It is not just an ordinary chicken coop. All right, I'm just trying to clean up the inside glue area and make sure that nothing is just, extra glue. We don't want the glue to stay around. We want it to go away. And we definitely don't want it on the insides of where our top piece is going to be sitting. So, painter's tape, neat trick, helps a ton. CA glue, neat trick, helps a ton. We'll get that cleaned up. We'll get that cleaned up. And then the glue should be set within 30 minutes. That stuff sets pretty decently. The Titebond 3, but you're not supposed to stress it for, I think it's like 24 hours. But this isn't a stressful build. This is a shipping box that we're building. Nothing stressful about it. No stress on these joints. Like with my egg holders that I make, I'll show you guys real quick. These are the egg holders that I make. And I have a bunch of different wood species that I make these out of. And they're just, you know, sliding little drawers so you can hold a dozen eggs, or if you want one larger for 18 or 24, whatever you want. And I put different types of hard exotic woods on the fronts. So this one is Wenge, which is like a very dark, dark black wood. But on all of these joints where they're 45'd, I make sure to come through and do splines inside of the build just to make sure that these are strong enough for any customer who purchases these and has them on their kitchen counter. Well, excuse me, I'm like burping. So those things are cool. All right, so we got the glue cleaned up. I'm satisfied with that cleanup. There's only one little, I don't know how I can get into that little space right there. Wonder if I have something thin enough. Thin enough. Maybe a knife will do the trick. There's just this one little corner. I don't like that there's glue sitting on the inside. Come on. Perfect. Ish. Perfect-ish. All right, so then this piece, I want to just make sure we face them the same way. I think that will look nice to have them face the same way. And voila, this guy is just going to go into here. So the best way for me to set this one is going to be to put some CA glue on this side. I should put a little dab of wood glue. I like wood glue for long-term strength more than CA glue. But CA glue is going to help hold this in place a lot quicker than wood glue ever could. So there's pros and cons, and you just have to think about that a little bit. That's it. Okay, so I put my wood glue back. We'll dab a little bit of CA glue down in here. And on this side as well. We are going to have squeeze out on this one, I guarantee it. The thick side is the top side. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is spray some activator on that guy. And then we are just going to push this guy into place. Okay. So now we've got this box. I'll show you guys. And that was pretty quick, I'd say, you know? That was pretty quick to build this box. And the only thing that I forgot to account for earlier was the fact that once I cut this blade out, so on this last piece for the front, I could have or should have made it just a blade length longer to begin with. That way this wouldn't exist here, because I could have just cut that blade length out and then use this piece. You get what I'm saying. But I don't think that's the end of the world. I mean, have you ever seen a shipping box that looks like this? You know, has anyone ever shipped you something in a box like this? Be honest. I mean, that's cool. To receive a knife in a box like this, I think that's pretty cool. It was a quick build. Like I said, I didn't want to go crazy on time because this is just free. So it just is what it is, and we can go ahead and take the blue tape off of this guy. Oh, you want to be a little sticky, huh? You want to stay put? I'll sand your ass right back to where you came from. All right, so this is the box. And now I'm thinking, that's really nice. It actually stays. That's pretty cool. So that's not bad. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. That's a pretty cool box. It'd be a good way to send some cigars to people or something like that. And it kind of looks like the shape and size of like what a cigar box would be, you know. Okay, just make sure you have all the glue. That's the most important. What do you say we get some oil on this guy? Then we'll be able to really see what it looks like, because right now you just see this, which is cool, but it ain't no finished oiled product, I'll tell you that. Let's grab 120 grit real quick, and 120 or 180, whatever pops into my hands first. There's 180, here's 120, so we'll take that. It's a nicer piece. We'll take a 120 grit real quick, and we'll just take off some of these sharp edges. Don't want sharp edges. That's for sure. I am not a fan of sharp edges. Sand off the glue spot here. There we go. That's one hell of a box for shipping. I would be so stoked if someone sent me, I ordered a knife from someone and this is how they shipped it to me. They built me a custom box. Okay, let's blow this off. Just a little bit of sanding right there on that corner. And then we're going to oil this thing. Here I am going overboard on a project that I said I wouldn't go overboard on. That's usual. So just want to make sure. I'm really just trying to get rid of any of the glue marks and tape marks right now. That's going to be fine. All right, that's good. Can't spend any more time on this. That's enough. Just a little bit on this Fidduke right here. Since this is the handle, technically speaking, we'll give that a little bit of love. And then we're moving on to oil. Everything else can just this guy. All right. Watch the knife not even fit. It should. Okay. Let's get some oil out on this bad boy. And let's make sure that the knife. All right, that's not bad. That's not bad for a little. I don't know what time it is, but that couldn't have been more than hour and a half at most or something. To little thank you gift. I like that. That's really cool. Let's see if the knife fits. And I might put down a foam pad on the inside since I have that. But I also don't want to take away from the beauty of the box. Cool. So I need to figure out, one, I either put the foam on the inside so that when he gets his knife, it's not just jiggling around in there. So it's either I put the foam on the bottom or I fill it with the wood shavings was my other idea to kind of make it look cool. But I don't know which one we should do. What do you guys think? Either way, this is a sweet box. Let's get some oil on it while you guys put in the chat how I should secure this knife in here. So I'll show you the options right now. One of them is obviously wood chips from my dust or chip extraction system. Where are those pads? Oh, they're down here. So I have chip extraction system. The other one that I could do is we could cut out some of this, which is a double, or this side is a sticky side, and this is a foam side. So I could always put a little piece of this on the inside of the box, and that would keep it from bouncing around as much. I don't know how much it would do, but I think those are my kind of two options right now, is putting this black on the inside or putting wood chips in there and then putting my knife on top and securing the knife after that. And then we're going to ship this out to the customer. That's sweet. He's going to love that. He's not expecting a box. He's just expecting his knife that he made. And that's it. So he's getting a little thank you gift and as a surprise. Okay, let's put this away. We don't need glue anymore. Sandpaper we're good on. We can put that back here because we're going to work on the knives next. And then we are going to get shit done. So, oil. That's what we need. Some oil. And we're going to go with a pure tongue oil on this guy. Get some gloves out. I don't really feel like getting my hands all oily. Oh, that's the last of those. So I guess I can use this box as a little oil station. Let's get some oil on this box. Not this box, but that box. It's going to look so damn good. And we're going to adjust the camera so you guys can get yourselves money shots of this, because you deserve all the best. I wish. All right, let's get you guys in on the action. How's that sound? Better? How's that view? We can also turn the phone sideways, and this will allow us to, boom, give you guys a nice shot of the oil. I really don't need that cardboard underneath it. It's a workbench. It's a workbench, Brandon. Nobody gives a shit. It's a workbench. I think that'll be less distracting. All right, so we've got ourselves pure tung oil. We are going to put that on this bad boy. And yeah, after that, we're pretty much done. That was a quick project. So we'll start with the lid. And like I said, I didn't go crazy sanding this project, things like that, because it's free. This whole build right here is just me giving him a cool way for me to ship that knife that he ordered. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna build him a box, and here we are. We built him a box so that the knife is nice and secure for the travels. So yeah, this build was, technically speaking, I'm not getting paid for it. And I think for that being said, it's one hell of a box. I think it's gonna be easier if I stand on this side so I can see what's going on. Turn on the light for you guys. That might help. What a difference some oil makes. I mean, look at that. So cool. So cool. Nice, nice, nice. I think he's going to be ecstatic about receiving his knife in this. I know I would. I just don't know what I should put on the inside. Maybe even just paper balled up or something like that. Just to, I mean, the old school way would be like wood chips, but I guess I don't know how well that's gonna just work for shipping a knife. And there we have it. This guy is completed. I mean, that's just too cool. Little box for shipping a knife. Awesome. He's gonna love it. He is going to love it. He's also gonna love it because it was free. He's gonna be like, wow. Wow, Brandon, how did you do that? So yes, this is a box for shipping a knife for a customer of mine. And here's the knife that he ordered. In fact, I should probably hit this with a little bit of oil while we're at it. Won't hurt anything. So, well, I'm still in my good clothes. I shouldn't be doing that. So this is the knife that the customer made. Well, he picked all the woods, and I assembled everything, put it all together, and that kind of stuff. But he wanted Padauk, Tatajuba, tiger wood, and this kind of horizontal lining striping. So he emailed me and was like, hey man, I really like that knife that I made with you, and I'd like to buy it. So I said, of course. So now, today, I just made him a little box as a secret. He doesn't know about this box. This is between you and me, people. And boom. Now we're going to be able to ship him his knife in a cool, custom-made box. I think that's awesome. So I just need to figure out what I'm going to do to keep that knife from bouncing around in there. And then we're good to go. So and it might just be as simple as putting a rag in there just for the shipping. Or like I said, once this oil cures, I can fill it with wood chips, and I can go that route of having it sit on a bed of wood chips, kind of like you would like bottles of wine and things like that. But those are usually like long, flaky chips, I think, so it's a little different than the wood chips I get from my extractor. So, and planer. Man, this is so cool. I'm excited. I hope he enjoys it. I know he will. He's ecstatic about the knife, and now he's getting this box as well. So, all right. Well, that was a good way to use scrap wood that I had laying around and turn it into this box. That was no time at all to build that. I mean, I started the stream and was instantly already making it. So yeah, hour and a half to make this box. That's awesome. All right, what does everyone think? Should I figure out a way to put something in here? I already oiled the bottom though. That's gonna cause some issues with sticking anything down there. Probably shouldn't have oiled the bottom, but it'll look nice, that's for sure. Man, too cool, too cool, too cool. All right, so next up, one, I should probably not be in my nice clothes. I don't know why I always do this to myself. My wife would not be impressed by my skills today. Usually I'm pretty good about putting on my work clothes. Today, I disobeyed all laws of nature. All right, let's get you back here. Boom. That way I can be in the view. And yeah, I'm gonna see about polishing this guy next. Just a little bit. I just want to see how well it works. I might have to get a different machine to polish this freaking monster. Because I want to have a mirror finish on the blade, which I think will just be sweet. And it's getting there. It really just needs to be like buffed out at this point. I've used 5000 grit to sand it down, and I can see myself in it. So it's getting there, but all these little tiny lines need to be buffed out of here. So working on this guy, I mean, you can see it's getting there. That's so cool. You can see a big difference on where it's sanded versus where it's not sanded, which is the handle area. So yeah, that's a huge monster knife we're going to be working on. Then I also have I have 9 more knives I need to make for you subscribers. You guys keep asking for different knives. I have no time, but I'm trying to keep up with you guys. So give me some time. Give me some time, and we will get those knives made for you guys. I've got, yeah, 9 more that you guys requested, which is awesome. Absolutely awesome. But time consuming. Very, very time consuming. I'm ecstatic about this this box for him. I just think it's so cool, and I think he's going to love it. Yeah, so cool. I love it. All right, that's enough with this box. That's how I'm gonna ship that knife over, though, is using that box. I just need to put some stuff in it. Oh, maybe a towel would work. Let's see if I wrap his knife in a towel if it's not too thick. Because I really want something that's going to hold this guy in place. I don't care, I guess, what it looks like for him to open it, you know. I do care, but I shouldn't care. It's going to be way too much wrappage on the... Oh, that's not bad. That might be it, people. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. That's it. We're shipping it. He's gonna open it. His knife is wrapped in the in just one of my cloths, and I might just put a little piece of tape over the edges here of this guy or something like that. And I don't even know if I have to after it's inside of a package. It's gonna be just fine. But I'm gonna ship this out to Mr. Meinhardt. I think he's gonna be ecstatic about his knife box. So that's done. Let's see what we can polish this guy with. And then it's also going to be time for 111. Negative, Matt. I was not awake. Hey, Benners. How's it going, man? Yeah, so, this is, a little surprise for Meinhardt. So Meinhardt reached out to me and ordered his knife. You remember what his knife looks like. And, I just decided to, out of my scrap wood that I had laying around the shop, build him a little box for the knife to sit in. So the knife is wrapped up and it's inside of here, and this is how I'm gonna ship it to Meinhardt. So yeah, super excited. Took me about an hour and a half to build this guy from start to finish. So I think that was pretty quick. And if I was doing more, that's always the thing. When you build, 6 of these, you run everything through at the same time. All of that, I could have just as easily done 6 of these with 15 more minutes of time, because at that point, once everything's cut, it's just gluing it all up at the same time and moving on. So not that bad though for one box, an hour and a half to complete it. And it's sweet. I think Meinhardt's gonna enjoy that. You know, it's a nice box, that's for sure. And it should make the shipping a little bit easier on that blade and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I was thinking. So all right, so I don't know if I have the proper equipment to polish this blade. I just don't have any good like polishing pads, which sucks. Wish I did. We'll see. I really need to at some point. I promised that I would set up the trampoline today, but I know that's going to take forever, so I should probably get to that at some point, because it's going to be a nightmare. It's like just thrown in a box, no instructions, that kind of stuff. So I have no idea, but I really just want to see on this knife real quickly if I can get like a mirror finish on it. I heard that we're going to adjust the speed down for this, and we are going to take this guy off. We do have a polishing pad here, but they're so weird. Polishing compound. It's my bit. So let's see if this polish works. God, these little wrenches are freaking dangerous. All right, here goes nothing. I don't have faith in this, but so I'm just trying to actually going to bring you guys closer in on the action once again. That way you can see with me if this works or not. Because that's the whole point of watching, right guys? You don't give a shit about me. You just want to see what I do. So let's adjust camera and everything like that. Once again, might even be better to move my table out this way, because then I can get on the side with you guys. Some nice tiki. Okay. Hello. That's not where the camera's gonna be. Let's get you guys into frame. On the knife, he got a very special deal on the knife, because he was one of the first subscribers on my channel, and first donations that I ever received was from Mr. Meinhardt. So he got a ridiculously good deal on his knife, and shipping, we're not sure yet, but he is going to cover the shipping. I am taking care of getting it back to the States, and then from the States he's going to pay the shipping from Ohio to where he's at. So we will see on that, but yeah, he didn't pay all that much for the knife itself. But I'm glad because it's Meinhardt, and it's a knife that he created on the stream with me. So it's a little different than what I would normally charge, I think, for some of these pieces, because they are all custom made, handmade, and every single one is unique, you know. So all of that kind of needs to be accounted for. I'm sorry, I can't just give you like a straight up answer on that, you know. All right, let's see. I'm kind of curious. It's not as great as I'm expecting, so we're gonna go again because I can see a difference. That's for sure. But I was expecting a lot more shine on this right now. So we're gonna go again and again and again until we get this thing really polished up. And like I said, I might have to come through with a 5,000 grit again. That might be the secret or the trick here to getting this guy polished. Because that's just not great. It's not bad. It's better than most knives I've seen, but let's try just doing one area super slow, kind of seeing how that turns out. Yeah, but by all means, if you want to email me anytime on something that you see, we can work out a deal. I'm not a bad guy, so if there's something that you want, and especially right now because we have 2 weeks before my mom, she's out here right now, and she goes back to the U.S. in 2 weeks, and she's going to be able to bring some things back to the States, and that's how we're going to be able to get the shipping down right now. By all means, even later on, I'm willing to ship to the U.S., but you guys are going to have to pay for that one because that's not cheap. So if you were thinking of anything, definitely within the next 2 weeks is going to be the way for you to get it at the best price possible, if you ask me. Hey Wes, I have no idea what I'm doing here with the polishing. It's not working as well as I was hoping it was going to. Should probably also invest in some like actual polishing kit, not just the one the Dremel came with, because I don't think it's doing the trick for me personally. For a little project, this would be perfect. You know, kind of like these knives, but I'm not getting that mirror finish that I'm kind of hunting down right now. And I think I'm also being a little too harsh on the finish that I want, but that's normal. Just trying to see right now if I can polish this guy out into a mirror finish. Yeah, but I'll show you in just a second after I get done here. It's not like, I might have to go back through a couple grits of sandpaper or something like that to really get it to where this puppy is shining. I might also try and real quickly just see if I focus on this one area or something, will it be a mirror finish in this area or not, you know? Like if I spent more time just polishing it, is that all I need to do? Or do I need to work my way back through the grits? Let's see. Yeah, see, so I don't know if we can see that on that. I still have some. I'm trying to show you guys the scratches there. There you go. You can see them. Very small. I mean, this thing feels buttery smooth, but it is not like a mirror reflection, you know. It's got some lines going through it, but I'm not sure if I can just buff those out with the polishing wheel, or if I need to rework some of the grits. Like maybe I just skipped over grits too quickly and didn't get down into it enough. But then again, on like the spots where I don't see any scratches, it's also not buffed out to a mirror finish yet. So makes me wonder if I just need to take some more time with trying to polish it, you know. Chrome polish. All I got is this, whatever this is, just polishing compound that came with the Dremel. That's all I got. I'm gonna try going this way though, real quick, and seeing, just seeing if I can get this one spot. Because if I get yeah, it might just be I don't know if it's would need a different wheel or different compound, like you're saying, you know, to really get in there. It almost looks like it made it worse. I'm gonna spit on it. All right, I got some water right here. I'm gonna spit on it. Oh, you nasty, Brandon. You nasty. I mean, you can see water doesn't even beat up on it though. I think I'm gonna have to buy some other polish or something. It got it definitely a little better. Or I can't tell. I mean, you can see the difference, right? But there's still some scratches. I might have to go back through grits. I really don't want to go back through grits. I feel like I can polish it out. They're so small. They're so small. It's got to be buffable. That's what I'm trying to say. It's got to be buffable. I mean, we are getting very close to a mirror finish right here where I've buffed this out so far. I mean, I can see myself. But like I said, I'm just trying to get rid of the scratches. So let me look at it in the sun real quick as well, see what it looks like. You can still see the scratches ever so slightly. Am I being a perfectionist? I think so. Should I be? Probably not. Charger out. It's definitely a difference though. So I wonder if, like what you're saying, Wes, if there's, maybe I should have an array of polishing compounds and wheels that I can do a different grit. This might not be, especially since it came with the multi-tool, it might not be a fine enough polishing compounds, you know, because I think that there's different grits of polishing compounds. And if that's the case, maybe it's still leaving those scratches behind and I need to get something finer to really get that mirror edge on this thing. Because I would like this thing to literally look like a mirror up front and then put my handle on it. And I think that would be sweet. Gonna U-tut the bad man? What's that even mean, my guy? But yeah, if you're saying that this is a ridiculously large knife for no freaking reason, then yes, absolutely agreed with you. This thing, I ordered one that was medium size, about half the size of this one, which is a perfect size knife for skinning. And it ended up being a 3-pack. So I got this super large one, a medium one, and a really small one. So fuck it, playing around with it. I think it's pretty cool that I got a unknown 3-pack. I'm going to continue to focus real quick on one spot and seeing if I can, because if I can at least get it out. Let me get a chair. Hey, how's it going? Oh, that feels so much better on my back. All right, let's see. I want to see if I can polish out. I might have to just get like a polishing kit. I have a resin polish as well. Should try a little bit of that. It does do some scratch polish and stuff like that. So who knows? Maybe this will make the difference. Let's just put some of that on there. This stuff is going to make a mess though. It smells like that slime that we used to play with when we were kids. We'll see if this, I'm just not getting rid of those micro scratches. But like I said, this is just a kit from my Dremel, so I don't know if it's exactly what I need to get this thing to be a mirror. I mean, it's shiny all right. Don't let that fool you, but if we're striving for perfection, we ain't there yet. Turning Tuesday giveaway tonight. Ooh, what time is your giveaway tonight? It's getting there, but like I said, I still have some. I don't know how I get rid of that. Like just tiny little scratches and stuff. How do I get those out? I sanded with 5000 grit. This stuff isn't gonna do it. This is epoxy resin kind of stuff. But it's worth a shot. Am I right? Everything's worth a shot. Live starts at 6 p.m. every week. Street doing couple board action. Pennies paired with snake wood. Ooh. Mountain Standard Time. I might be up. That's 6 o'clock is much better than 7 because I think 6 Standard Mountain Time I think is 12 for me. 12 I can usually catch. 1, that's when it starts getting rough, man. And that seems to be when everybody's like going on at. It's like around 1 o'clock everybody starts to get on the lives and stuff, and I am already long gone at that point. I'm in La La Land. There's got to be a way to buff this guy better. I want a mirror reflection on this guy, and it's just got just a little bit of kind of micro scratches, and then the buffing wheel stuff is kind of in there. I mean, it's definitely reflective, but it's not a mirror, and I'm shooting for mirror grade, so got a little bit of work to do. But like I said, I might just have to buy some like a kit for doing this. Thanks, man. Yeah, I just so Meinhardt reached out to me, and he ordered a knife. I'll show you the little box I made for him. He ordered a knife that he made. So he designed that knife on one of my lives, and he was always there looking at it and stuff. So today, earlier in the live stream, I made him this box, and this is how I'm going to ship him his knife. So his knife is wrapped up on the inside here, and this is the box that he's going to receive, which I thought was pretty cool. So instead of just, shipping it in a normal fashion, he's going to receive it inside of this box, which, once again, I think is pretty cool. For free, he gets a little custom-made box, So, yeah, that's what we did today on the live stream, was this guy. And it's all scrap wood, too, which was cool. So I was able to take up some of that scrap wood that I had here, which is awesome. I think this would make a cool cigar box as well. Something like that. Obviously, we could make it bigger, but that would be cool as well if it was a box like that, cigar box. Yeah, man, take it easy and have a good day at work, and we will see you soon enough. So, yep, take it easy, guys. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. You don't need to apologize to me, because I'm just another human being making videos when I can. Don't apologize. Don't apologize. I will see you live. I will see you live. Let's get this compound buffed into this knife, and hopefully it will take care of the scratches. But I don't think so. Maybe I need to turn up the speed, but someone else was telling me that when you buff these, you want to be around 10,000 RPM. But the 10,000 RPM seems very low. Try to just to like really buff this stuff in here, and then I don't know, guys, this is my first time ever trying to really get a mirror finish on one of these knife blades. Like I'm talking mirror finish. It's already shiny as hell and I can see myself, but I don't like the fact that we have a couple of spots with tiny scratches and things like that. And this knife has been beyond welly sanded down to 5,000 grit. So I don't know if I just need to go back at it with some more sandpaper, or if these scratches I can kind of figure out how to buff out. I might just need a better set of buffing tools, because this is just the one that came with my multi-tool. Nothing fancy about this one. Let's turn the speed up a little bit. I don't know what kind of damage we can do here, but okay. Go back down. I think there's a reason why he told me that we buff it at 10,000 RPM and not faster than that. But the problem with the Dremel is that 10,000 RPM, if I apply too much pressure, I can really stop it. So I might just have to crank up the speed a little and be able to apply more pressure and just hope that we're around 10,000 RPM after all that pressure is applied. Okay, I think that's enough of that. Now I did have an idea, and stop me if this is wrong, but I was thinking if I put on a different buffing wheel at this point, just a clean one, small one, if that would help or not with being able to push this compound more down without adding in new compounds. Because remember, the goal is to just get rid of those micro scratches and buff this thing out to a mirror finish. I guess we'll find out here in just a second if that's working or not. I know it's shiny, people. I know it's shiny, but it ain't a mirror finish yet. So, and that's what we're shooting for. Some of you are gonna be like, "That's fine. That's good as it is." Is it though? That hurt my soul a little right there. Just added a scratch. All right. I think that's as good as we can do for now. So, like I said, we're gonna see what this looks like, and then I'm gonna order a kit for really polishing up this blade and seeing if it works well. So yeah, I think we're getting somewhere. I think it just needs that like one final touch of whatever I don't have. Because I was just on this one, I was able to get rid of quite a bit of those tiny scratches that I was seeing. But like I said, I think we need just a little bit more. When you let me see if I can show you. Yeah, you guys see that? Those guys. Trying to figure out how to buff those out so that we have a mirror finish on this guy. It's shiny, but it ain't clear, you know? So, I want this to be just like an insane looking knife. So, apparently what I was using is this guy, I think is what you're talking about, Clay Bar. It says it's a polishing compound, but my guess is that it's just not a great, this is what came with the Dremel set, you know? So I think if I just go online and look up like stainless steel polishing set, I'm gonna get some better compounds and a better piece to use on the wheel and things like that. So I think for now, with what I just did, I mean, that's definitely as good as I'm going to be able to get it with what I'm doing here. And I just need to get some better compounds and things like that to get rid of those last micro scratches that are in there and really buff this thing up to a shine. But dude, this thing is going to be sweet. I mean, it's definitely shinier. I mean, you can see just the difference between the front and back there on that guy. And you can see the reflection. But I want it better. I want it cleaner. I want it much cleaner. So, still gotta work on this guy. And then after all of this, I have to be so freaking careful. I'm gonna apply that edge one last time on this guy, and I just need to make sure I do not nick this blade at all. I'll probably even put down some blue painter's tape just in case, maybe 2 layers of painter's tape on top of this, and then come through and do passes on each side and get that blade really sharpened up for its final time. And yeah, Clay Bar, like getting scratches off paint. Huh. I would have to, yeah, I'm gonna have to look it up and see what I need for the stainless steel. That's gonna be that. I just gotta look it up, find out what I need, and then we'll be good to go. And then for the handle, it's gonna be this guy. It's gonna be from the beechwood right here to the end of the beechwood here. So the knife handle itself should be, you know, something like that with those three types of wood in it. It's going to be beech, padauk, and teak, and that's going to be the handle on this guy. So I think that's going to look just out of this world once I get done with this knife on here. Yeah, should be pretty cool. So, what did you say? Yeah, likely just proper compounds. I think so too, Benner. I think so too. I think if I just get some nice compound for the stainless steel and things like that, that it's going to make a world of difference. All right, let's get you guys back up into shop view. Yeah, that's one hell of a cheese knife right there. This thing. No, dude, the weird part is this was advertised, or it came in a pack of 3 that I bought. And I was after the medium-sized knife, which is it's a skinning blade. How is this a skinning blade, dude? You know, like a whale skinner? Freaking, it's huge. What would you skin with this thing, dude? No idea. But someone here in France is going to love this knife, because I swear to God, here it's some kind of pissing contest of who's got the biggest knife. Like when we go hunting, you see them all with these like gigantic knives on their side, and I'm like, that's just a little bit much, guys. We don't need any of that. We really don't. I think it's much more important to have a good pocket knife that is versatile than it is to have, yeah, that monster knife that they seem to carry around here with each other. Like, oh, look at my knife. My knife is so nice. Look at how nice my knife is. Well, I'm going to show up with a knife that shuts them all up, because this thing is gigantic. It's a machete. That's what I've been calling it. Because it's just huge. There's no way you can consider it a knife. You know? It's a machete. It's a machete. It's like a miniature machete. Let's just call it that. An MM. It's an MM, a mini machete. All right, let's put this guy back then, because, like I said, until I get some better compound for this freaking monster, I mean, it's looking good. It's I can see my face. Shocked the blade hasn't snapped in half, you know. It's looking good, but I know what I'm after. I know what I want, people. I know what I want. Now I'm gonna get it. And it's gonna be a freaking mirror. So, in the shade, like looking at it from this angle, it looks like a mirror. Like it doesn't look like it's got any scratches on it. It's just so perfect. But then when you get up close, you're like, oh, okay. There's just, you know, the steel. It's not even like it just needs the right compound. I think you're 100% right on that, you know. 100%. All right, let's get the rest of this guy out of here real quick. Yeah, that was fun today to make that little box. I think Meinhardt's gonna really like that, and it's a cool piece to add into the knife build for him, and make it even more unique, you know. So we'll see what Meinhardt says about that. I'm sure. Oh no, you don't want one on the table saw. That's a no-no. That's a no-no. So yeah, I'm getting cleaned up, guys. I am going to be building a trampoline. Wish me luck on that. It's not gonna go well. There's no instructions. It's hot. It's just me, and I've got to build this frickin' gigantic trampoline with no directions. And yeah, that should be a fun time to figure this out. We got it from one of the neighbors. They bought it brand new for, I think, like their nephew or something, and then he came for like 3 days, played with it, and they were like, yeah, we want to get rid of it now. Okay, sure, we'll take the brand new trampoline. And but they don't have the instructions anymore and things like that. So yeah, I got to figure out how to put this beautiful trampoline together all by myself. I gotta figure it out. Bye-bye, extension cord. Open. So much work to do, man. So much work to do. It's hard to keep up with family things and then work and trying to just get everything done. There's only so many hours in a day. Blows my mind. I'll stay hydrated. You do the same. And yeah. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for coming in. It looks like we had a bunch of people show up today. Make sure that if you guys want some knives built for you, you subscribe to the channel. Check out all the other woodworking builds that we've posted on there. And once again, I will show you that little box that we made today. And this is the client. His name is Meinhardt. He had me make a knife for him. So his knife is inside of this wrap right here. And today we built him this box out of scrap wood. And we're going to ship this to him instead of just shipping the knife. So a little present for him to say thank you for purchasing one of my knives from me. If you guys are interested in purchasing anything, go on my channel, check some things out. Let me know what you want, or even better yet, subscribe, come to my lives, and ask me to make a knife for you. It's free. You don't even if you don't buy it and you just want to see a knife be made, come on over to the live. Tell me what kinds of woods you want to be used in it. I've got a ton of different species of woods that we can use, and let's build you a knife. So, that being said, peace.